Hello everyone, drberkkkaratas. This video could actually have a lot of titles. What rouses women? What do women pay attention to when choosing men, especially in a sexual sense? Is there really such a thing? A skin compatibility or not? This skin compatibility, we could use titles like what increases or decreases skin compatibility. You know, skin compatibility is not a scientific thing. So there is no such thing as skin compatibility in the medical literature. Here are the choices. So there are sexual reasons for why women choose men. I'll briefly talk about these. Now, the first one is smell. I prepared a very serious video about smell. I think it will be released next week. We have very strong evidence that these women make the right choices using their sense of smell, at least for genetic and lineage continuation. And these women do this not consciously, but subconsciously, without being aware of it. Actually, it's a trait given to them. Is there such a thing in men? Of course, men don't have such a trait. The second situation is that physical appearance is very important for a woman when it comes to men. They generally prefer tall men. In survey studies, it turns out that women prefer men who are 1.80 meters tall and above. And when they ask why they prefer such a thing, they respond. Again, in survey studies, it's been proven that they think men with higher status have better job opportunities and earn more money. They think that high status provides better physical protection and that they are healthier. That's why 180 meters above. Of course, it shouldn't be too short, too tall. So there needs to be a balance between these two years. They prefer strong, muscular, athletic, classic men more. This V shape, especially those that taper towards the waist and broaden at the shoulders, provides a physical protection instinctively. It appeals to the eye as well, and women think they are healthier. But there is a distinction here, and it's very important. It creates an excessive muscular repulsion. So various bun photos are shown to women. They don't like those who are overly muscular. In fact, they find them repulsive. Now, the facial line is important. The studies conducted masculine faces are preferred more. There's an evolutionary reason for that. Well, they don't consciously think that high testosterone levels mean that it's organized and this way subconsciously. If testosterone levels are high, then he can reproduce and continue our lineage. Of course, there are some cultural differences here. In the studies conducted, what the woman aims for is very important. So, is she aiming for a one-night stand, a short-term relationship, or a long-term relationship? And the situation she's in is also very important. So, whether she is in a full reproductive state during ovulation or at a time when she isn't ovulating, makes a big difference. But here's the reality. Very masculine and very feminine. Faces are not preferred in every situation. Now, there is a really nice study done on this. Men are creating a masculine face, standard masculine face. They are increasingly making it more masculine in the computer environment. So it's 30% masculine, more masculine at 50%, and it goes on like that. And in the same way, it's 30% more feminine, 50% feminine, and when it reaches 100%, it becomes a feminine appearance. When it reaches 100%, it results in a very harsh masculine appearance. The study conducted here is like this. They did it at different times. The colorful ones, look at these. During periods when the reproductive phase is low, meaning the periods after menstruation when ovulation doesn't start for about a week to 10 days, they prefer either those that look normally masculine or those that look a bit less masculine in the photos. But if she is in her reproductive period during that time, they tend to choose a slightly more masculine appearance with a 30% more masculine look. But on average, we can say this: neither very masculine nor very feminine appearances. If she is not in her reproductive period, when she looks at the photos, more masculine and slightly more masculine faces preferred. There's a traditional story of attractiveness. The goal here is to be with someone who is traditionally liked and approved by everyone. They think that the person is more popular, that they have a higher communication power, and that these individuals have more sexual experiences. That's why women have a greater desire to have relationships with them. The voice is very important. In this research, they played the voices of men without showing them at all. Women preferred deeper and richer voices. They played the voices of men without showing them at all. Women who preferred deeper and fuller voices. And when they were asked why they made this choice, they said it sounded healthier. It was coming to me, the sound was better than the others. I think they appear more muscular, more social, more free-spirited, and more mature. They said they think it could be, therefore, deeper and richer voices are preferred more by women. Body movements, like liveliness and a lot of activity, are preferred more. Of course, it's very important for a man to make eye contact, using their limbs in an open position rather than a closed one. This is also a sign of confidence. Both during sexual conversations and in general, one-sided shoulder touches and such are important because, shoulder contact is a bit of a sign of dominance when a woman sees this. It increases attractiveness, and a masculine walk is, of course, an expression of strength. Personality traits are important, of course. So far, we've talked a bit about physical traits. Confidence and humor, these two stand out a lot in studies. Actually, they are very similar things because women generally perceive it this way, or rather they say, people who understand humor are confident, and confident people have a sense of humor. They think that confident individuals who understand humor are smarter, more skilled, and more social. Yes, another reason for attraction is that women prefer popular and famous people. Of course, we can explain it like this. When you're with a popular person, you'll also become popular, and you'll gain a certain status. If it continues for a long time, this status will always continue. Even if you are Aylisan, she was his ex-wife, his ex-girlfriend, that status will continue. In long-term relationships, we can explain it this way. There's no problem with that, but in short and fleeting relationships, of course. Or how will we explain relationships that no one knows about? It can also be explained with a system we call mate copying. It can be explained, why have a one-night stand with a famous person? No emotional connection. A woman is having a one-night stand with a famous person. There might not be any emotional connection or anything like that, just because they are popular and famous. By the way, when we say popular and famous, let's not misunderstand it right away. It's not just the famous, popular people in the public eye. The popular and famous people around you, or recognized, known, and trusted individuals, can also be included. You need to understand that, man, what we call mate copying here is that women can find a sexual partner by searching using the characteristics I mentioned, or they can choose an already approved sexual partner for themselves. So a woman thinks, instead of searching so hard, there are already a lot of women who have been with this guy, since he is popular and famous, and many women have approved of him. Okay, she might think, I should also be with the people that everyone approves of, the ones that are approved by them. This is also called mate copying. They prefer people who are on their level. Yes, especially in long-term relationships, and especially in marriage, meaning if they are going to spend a life together, they choose partners who are suitable for them, whether physically, visually, in terms of beliefs, or behaviorally. Of course, there's the perception of wanting someone to be like me. But at the same time, there's also the fear of rejection and the fear of loss. So think about it. Can a plus-sized woman be with a very attractive, fit man? Of course, it can happen, but she is already experiencing a fear of rejection when approaching him. That's why she's not approaching, or there's the fear of losing after winning. So I'm like this guy's like that. That's why they tend to be with people who are more on their level, both physically and emotionally. There is a reason for this. What is that? A beautiful, attractive woman is with a man who is not attractive. This topic is like the story of the pot rolled and found its lid. This is a bit like the saying, the good ones are eaten by bears. As people say, that's how it is. When the reasons for this are investigated, two important factors emerge. One is material wealth. The second is intelligence. Third is success. These can be individual factors, or they can come together, or any combination of them can be present. It doesn't matter. A woman can be with a man because he is very successful, very intelligent, or very wealthy. So then the question is, let's say, oh, a man, most of these qualities are not present in you. So why would a woman want to be with you? Why would a woman find you attractive? I'm not fit. I'm not popular. I don't have a lot of money. I'm not very smart. And if you say that my understanding isn't that great either, then according to these criteria, no woman should be looking at you. No woman should be with you. The answer to this lies here. This is exactly my type. This is not my type at all. Men say this a bit too, but we hear it much more from women. It's like saying this guy is exactly my type and this one is not my type at all. Sometimes an incredibly attractive man seems appealing to many women. He meets all these criteria, but a woman might say he's not my type at all. Here, the experiences a woman has had with men from the moment she was born until the time she says this phrase come into play. Let me explain something very simple. For example, the corner store owner in the neighborhood is a slightly chubby, medium height man with a clean face. He treated her very well throughout her childhood. He had given gifts. They must have had a very good relationship. Such a type could be my type, could love. Or let me give an example from my own profession. She has interacted a lot with many doctors. The doctor who is interested in her is someone like that, bespectacled, bearded guy who resembles me. She doesn't like guys with glasses and beards at all, because that doctor is approaching her in a way, of course, with the intention of healing her, but naturally. He causes her pain while performing the procedures. So it can be like this. Or maybe she has an older brother at home who is incredibly smart, successful, and surrounded by beautiful women. He is devoted to his family, and his friends really like him. She can look up to him. So the type can be smart, successful men. We can increase this number to millions. All women gather all these experiences and ultimately create a type in their minds. And they say, this is exactly my type. This is not my type at all, or this will do. Of course, it takes time for them to do these things, and this changes over time. So there will be a difference between the this is my type in your 20s and the this is my type in your 30s, 40s, or 50s, because as you live more, you start to pay attention not just to physical traits, but also to behavior and character. So these things change over time with age. In short, women shouldn't say, I don't have these qualities, women won't choose me, because you never know. Because as they live more, they start to pay attention not just to physical traits, but also to behavior and character. So these things change over time with age. So in summary, don't say, I don't have these qualities, women won't choose me, because you never know. Someone might really like your type at any moment. Thank you.